What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be talking through my TBR for Not Safe for Workathon. So, as you would have seen last week, I did my explanation of how my TBR fits with the Magical Readathon. I asked if anyone wanted to see any further explanations, and I had people respond that they wanted to see the Not Safe for Workathon TBR as a whole, which I fully understand. There's 21 book prompts, so, and also Mythathon. So Mythathon should be coming tomorrow. Today, I will be talking through my Not Safe for Workathon TBR. Not Safe for Workathon is running for the entire month of September, and I have been joined by some beautiful co-hosts such as Cara, Aoife, Caitlyn, KJ, and Whit, and I'll leave a link to their channels in the description box below, as well as all the information as well. So for Veda, during August, I was doing recommendations for each of the prompts as well, so if you want to check those out to get some ideas, it is very much a readathon that you make work how you want to make it work. The prompts are very open, well, for the most part they're pretty open and flexible to fit in with everything that's going on with Bookoplathon and Magical Readathon. So to make it work for you, you can either pick the prompts that you would love to have as a BDSM scene, or you can just fit the ones in and participate that way. But it is totally up to you. I've doubled up with most books, some books, but I'm going to go through each prompt, say the book, and then the next time that book gets mentioned, mention it again, rather than going, this book fills these two prompts, because that's how I was doing it in the Bookoplathon TBR Twisted Choosers above, and it just got very messy. Let's go through it. The first main prompt is butt plug, read a book over 500 pages, and I've assigned The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty for this. This is 526 pages worth of story, so very keen to get to this. This is a buddy read with a few lovely people on Instagram, so it's sort of a as you go rather than a set schedule, which is nice. The next is Gimp Mask, read a book with a black cover, and I'm going with Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a buddy read with Antonisha LaShay, and her channel is Mrs. Moody Reader, and I jumped on board and said I would really love to buddy read it, so yeah. The next is Edge Play, which is a dual perspective, and I'm going with A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. There's different perspectives in more than the two perspectives I was anticipating. So anyway, has multiple perspectives, so very keen for that. Next is Submission Service, so someone else needed to pick a book for you, or you could like work it however you want to, pull it out of a jar, something like that, if you don't have someone able to pick something for you. And for this, Ash, my partner, picked The Bookbinder's Daughter, picture here. I think it's Jessica Thorne that's the author. So it's been compared to The Binding, so he was curious about it that way. Next is Fireplay, a book that you consider hot. I got the copy of it. So I'm reading Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is one that I am so highly anticipating. It's not even funny. And yeah, I'm just very keen to get to it. This would fulfill quite a few prompts, but I've just assigned it to this one. Next up is Impact, a powerful or intimidating book, and that would be The Mad Ship by Robin Hobb. So this edition is only 673 pages. However, I was on some sprints last night at the time of filming this, and they were discussing that it's like a 900 page mass paperback, and I was like, deceptive fuck. Definitely a lot of content. I don't get it. I don't get how it's many chunk. This is definitely a intimidating read. The next prompt is Rope, which is wanting to read for a while but you've been tied up, and so hi. This is a buddy read with Amy from A Star Reads, and we meant to get to it like a month or two ago, and it just didn't happen until this month, so yeah. Next up is Electric Play, a book featuring elements in some way, and I know a lot of people have taken this in a whole different variety of ways, and it's been so nice to see. I'm going with City of Brass again because the djinn in this are elemental creatures, so that's how that's gonna work. Next is Blindfold. Go in blind or be blindfolded and pick a book. So for this, I had to end up randomizing my TBR for Bookoplathon, and the book that got picked was Heroes by Stephen Fry. So technically it was Troy, but I want to read those in order, so Heroes is what's been picked for me. I picked this book blind and very curious to get to it. The next is Food Play. So either food on the cover or set at a cafe or restaurant, and so I'm going with All the Bad Apples by Maura Fowley Doyle. So there's fruit on the cover as well as apples in the title, so very much fulfilling that prompt. The next is Free Space, You Vanilla Bitch, and I'm going with Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. The reason I'm going for this as a free space pick is because I need to read this for the Lunaralong, so wanted to shove it on in as an option. This is the second in the Lunar Chronicles series, so we're continuing on and I'm keen to get to it. Next up is Ice Play, a book with a chilling subject matter, and I'm going with Perfume by Patrick Sukind. This is the story of a murderer, and that's all I know. The next is Foot Fetish, bottom from your TBR pile. So I got TBR vet from Bookoplathon, so it sort of lended itself well to this, and that is also perfume. I did not want to get to this, but it fulfills a lot of stuff, so. The next is Breath Play, a book that will leave you panting or breathless, and I'm going with Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. The sex scenes in this should probably leave me panting or breathless, and I'm just very, very keen. Next up is Bite Mark, one you've been dying to sink your teeth into, and so I'm going with Heroes once again. I have been really wanting to dive into these. I absolutely adore Stephen Fry's narration and just seeing his retelling. I don't even know how to describe this, but just the discussion on this. So this is something I've definitely been dying to sink into. Next is Handcuffs, a key on a cover or a freeing book. Freeing is really open to interpretation. If you need to take it the route that I did, I picked Before We Were Blue by E.J. Schwartz. This was an arc that I needed to read, so it frees me from the obligation of the surrounding arcs. I can't just ignore it, so it frees me from that. So that's how I went with it. I know other people are looking at it being like enlightening or something they feel has been holding them back, so when they read this, it's then freeing them. Next up is Pet Play. Either has texturing or an animal on the cover, and for that I'm going again with the Torch Against the Night. There is horse on the cover, nice and simple. Next up is Dom, a strong protagonist, and I'm going with She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I'm confident that this is going to be a very strong protagonist and can't wait to get to it. This is the book club for my Facebook Library of the Unread Facebook group, so I'm very keen to get to this, and I'm so excited. Next up is Spanking, something that's got to leave a mark, and once again I'm going with Before We Were Blue. This is about two teenagers in a rehabilitation clinic for eating disorders, so obviously I think that's going to be quite a difficult topic to read, but will leave a mark on me and have me thinking about these things. Next is Soft Limit, slightly outside your comfort zone. It's making its third appearance. This is the only one that I've tripled up on. There were a few double ups, and it just depends on what I get to throughout the month. Like, I can rejig this entire TBR to make sure that I get everything, even in lesser books, but I wanted to fit as many things from my TBR that I need to read anyway, so here we are. This is slightly outside my comfort zone. I think this is going to be a lot more than slightly outside my comfort zone, but for the purpose of this, we are going outside. And the final bingo prompt is switches, mood read or switch out a claimed book on your TBR. So obviously I could do anything for this, but I'm going with Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, because I was definitely in the mood to read this. And finally, finish with some aftercare. Read a book that makes you feel warm and fuzzy or safe. And I haven't actually picked anything. I kept forgetting that this was a thing I suggested. Can we tell I use aftercare? Sorry, Ash. But for that, you don't have to finish with it. You can do it whenever you would like. I will probably just end up reading like a graphic novel or a comic, depending on what takes my fancy and or what I have the time to be able to do. That's what we're looking at for that. Those were the 21 book prompts for Not Safe for Workathon. There is 4 non-bookish related prompts to sort of just check it up, make sure that you're looking after yourself as well. So community spirit, uplift some members of the community, whether that be just a singular shout out to someone, commenting, being like, hey, I think you're pretty awesome, or anything that's just makes someone's day feel a little bit nicer. St. Andrew's Cross, do some stretches or get a massage. I'm still in lockdown. I might be coming out, in which case I'm so excited to go and get a massage, but more likely I'm just gonna convince myself to get back into yoga. I think that would be a better way and more fulfilling long term. Munch, have a tasty snack. Pretty simple. I will be snacking all the time. I probably technically already filled this, but what else? And medical play, do something to look after your health. So whatever's capable, really that could be as simple as like just eating a piece of fruit. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. I don't know what I have planned for that. I think I needed it this month because I've just been letting everything slide. But those are all the extra sort of bits and pieces. I hope you enjoy Not Safe for Workathon. I am absolutely in love with this readathon. I feel like this is the best one that we've done so far, and I can't wait to see how it all shapes up. Obviously, if you're only just finding out about this readathon, feel free to join us. It is no worries at all. It is a very flexible and open readathon. Like, the free space, you could just put in one book that you've read and you've participated. That's it. So it's really not a strenuous readathon. There's a lot of prompts, so if you want to overachieve, you can overachieve. But if you want to keep it simple, it's also there for you as well. I'll leave a link, like I said earlier, to all the information down in the description box anyway. I have many regrets. Never again. I'm never doing that again. So these plus 2 arcs are my Not Safe for Workathon TBR. Let me know in the comments, are you participating in Not Safe for Workathon, or how's your TBR going? How's your reading going? I love you all. Pray. Send prayers. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!